like your husband's just kind of bored with your sex life? That's what a woman is writing in on today's edition of Ask Sheila. I'm Sheila from To Love, Honor, and Vacuum, the blog where we try to take marriage from a to-do list to a passionate adventure. And here is one new wife writing in about how maybe her sex life isn't what she expected. She says, "When we got married, I thought that my husband was a typical man who would want sex just as much, if not more, than I do. I was a virgin and he was not. We are both victims of sexual abuse, which God has truly worked miracles in both of us." And I am really sorry that that happened to you when you were younger. Early on into our marriage, I felt like he wasn't that interested, and he said it was because he was too tired after work. He had struggled with porn when we were dating, and he struggled a bit early in our marriage, but he confessed and he put blockers on everything. The thing is, I feel like he is bored with sex somewhat. I feel like he's already tried everything with his past girlfriends, and I am here finally able to have sex and try new things, but he isn't putting in any initiative at all. We also have mother-in-law issues. She keeps bringing up old girlfriends, which makes it all worse. Yeah, I guess that really would. But my question in all this is this: do I tell him how I feel? I don't want to be selfish and tear him apart. He really is such a good husband, and he does love me. All right. You know, I get that question a lot. Do I tell him how I feel? How is he supposed to know if you don't tell him? Like, if you want your marriage to get better, no matter what the question is, there's no magical thing that you can do that makes your marriage better without actually having to talk about the issue. I think a lot of times we're trying to find a way to avoid talking about the issue. It doesn't happen. And there are ways that you can talk about the issue without making him feel badly. But also, you know, you're already feeling badly. Like, you're feeling really, really, really badly. And yet you're afraid to make him feel badly, but you're already feeling badly. So it's like, okay, look, the fact that you feel badly, that does matter. And he is not going to be able to feel as close to you, and he's not going to be able to experience real intimacy with you while you are feeling really badly. And so, you know, we got to figure out a way to get over this. And one of the ways may be that you just give up any need for feeling close in sex for the rest of your life, but I don't really think that that's realistic. Another way might be to say, how can I approach this in a way that my husband would be receptive to, but in a way that does affirm both of our needs? And I think that's a great thing to do. Okay, so let's just take a back step for a minute here. He's a victim of child sexual abuse, and he's used porn in the past, and he's had a promiscuous past. That's just a lot of baggage. And I don't know if it's that he's bored of sex as much as it is that he's never really understood what real intimacy is. And so he's missing out on something really amazing. And I think it's okay to go to someone and say, I love you so much. Like, seriously, I get so hot when I'm with you. I want to make love to you so much. But I just feel like with both of our pasts, and with all the baggage and with all the crap that's going on with your mom, I feel like we're missing out on what God had for us. So can we talk about, you know, how to put a lot more passion into our lives? Because I want you to be so excited to come home to me. That's not a negative message. It really isn't. That's not saying I am upset at you and I think you're doing something wrong. That's saying I think that we are missing something and that we can get something better going here. And that's a very positive message. You know, you tell him that you love him. You tell him that you're really sexually attracted to him. Like, what guy isn't going to like that? And honestly, I don't think it's that he's bored of sex. Guys don't tend to get bored of sex. And unless he's got a really low libido, which I don't think he necessarily has. I think what she's saying is they do make love. It's just that he doesn't take a lot of effort, and he doesn't seem that interested in trying new things, even though he can now. So yeah, you know, he probably did try a lot of things with other girls, and I hate to say that, but what I hear from a lot of couples is he associates all of that experimentation with his pre-Christian life and his pre-marriage life, and now bringing it into marriage just seems wrong, and he just hasn't been able to process that. So I have a really easy solution for you. You know, try my sexy dares. They're really cheap. I made them really cheap. There's 24 of them. There's 8 that he can do, 8 for you to take the lead on, and then 8 that you do together as a couple. And that'll help you try new things. But here's the key thing about it. Sometimes when there's somebody else telling you what to do, it takes the pressure off, right? Because if he's associating like all this experimentation with his ex-girlfriends, then if he starts experimenting with you or doing some of those same things, it feels like he's bringing them into the bedroom. But if he's just simply reading off his computer screen what he's supposed to do, it's not like he's the one emotionally investing in it in quite the same way, so it takes away some of that pressure. And that's why sometimes these dare things or my 31 days to great sex or whatever you choose, they can both do it. That's why those are great things. If you want to actually start these conversations, 31 days to great sex might be a better one to do, because it helps you to talk about some of the lies that you've believed about sex, and it helps you to talk about some of your baggage along with some really fun exercises. But if you just simply want to try new things, you can jump right into the dares. It doesn't matter. But I would say that when you've got all of this baggage, and when you do have a lot of things in your past like that, sometimes there is just a block because you don't know what real intimacy is. And that's what he has to learn. He has to learn that actual emotional connection can actually be really hot, and that can actually ignite the sex drive and make you feel a lot closer. You know, so the more that you pray together, that's a great thing to do. Just lie in bed naked and talk together. Have baths together. Like, do some of these things where you're naked before you've actually had sex, but you're just sort of growing intimacy, and that can help him to see and to separate, you know, his past with his marriage now, because he's doing things, he's being close to you, he's praying with you, he's being naked in bed with you while you're just talking and talking about your kids or whatever, and it's a feeling that he hasn't shared with other girlfriends, so that can really help. But my bigger thing is, you know, if you have an issue, it really is okay to talk about it, and if it's something that's bothering you, that matters, because what you want to do is you want to build intimacy. You can't build intimacy unless you open up. So find some safe ways to do that. Keep on talking to him. Remember that the more you talk about the little things, the easier it is to talk about the big things. Okay, so keep on doing things together so that you can chat and laugh throughout the day. The easier it is at night to talk about the things like, I feel like we don't have a lot of intimacy and I want to make that better. It's not about blaming him. It's not about making him feel badly. It's just about making sure that you guys feel close, and you can't feel close if you're feeling badly. So have some fun. I really think this is something that you guys can get over. He just needs to get a different view of intimacy. You know, it is sometimes hard to believe that hot and holy go together, but they really do. Because the closer that we feel towards each other, the more we're going to desire each other. And as you start doing exercises where you do feel more intimate, you'll probably find that your sex life takes off a little bit more too. So that's all for today. Just keep sending the questions my way. And remember, I always answer some reader questions on my podcast that comes out every Thursday as well. So join me at toLoveHonorAndVacuum.com. Join me at my podcast on iTunes, wherever you listen to them. So check out the links below where you can find my sexy dares, 31 days to great sex, and even more things to help boost your sex life. Bye-bye.